Alright, what's going on? How we doing today, people? I'm going to be going over Google Search Console, previously known as Google Webmaster Tools. If you're not familiar with this, you should have this installed on your website, because basically what it does is it's giving you all the search organic positioning that your website is currently showing up in. So we'll just kind of take a quick overview of how Google Search Console works. Basically, by installing a piece of code into your website, Google then will be able to track and provide you with all the data. So right as we log in here, we're going to see that we're on a website. This is the first page you'll see. And basically what this is giving us is just our performance as far as clicks and where those are all coming from, and then coverage as far as what is Google covering in our search. So our website currently has 998 valid pages. A lot of those are blogs and such. But basically, it's telling us what pages our Google knows are out there. And then there's 5 pages with errors. You can open this and get more data and see maybe why those pages are giving errors. It could be links, it could be something like that. And then basically down here you'll just see enhancements, which let's just move this real quick. And you'll see the trend as far as mobile usability. Seems to be doing pretty good. AMP, those are accelerated mobile pages, so that's kind of a newer thing. We don't have any products, and unparsable data is fine. We're looking good there. So basically we'll keep going over. I want to go into each of these characteristics. So that was the overview. Let's go into the performance, which is really where I spend most of my time, and you're able to see how your website is performing on Google. Right here is, so we'll just start. Here's the clicks, which we saw when we logged into the dashboard. That's pretty standard. But going over here to impressions is where you kind of really get a better idea, because this is how many times you're showing up and basically what you're showing up for. So you can see here, we're showing up for Miami web design, 5,000 impressions. Web design Miami, Miami web design, final web design, which is obviously our business name. Website design, 529 impressions. So it basically will continue to break down, and you can load more. I mean, you can get hundreds of keywords that Google tracks currently. PHP coding, I mean, we show up for pretty much every keyword you can want to show up for. The other thing here is you go click on pages, and you're able to get an overview of which of these pages are giving you the most traffic. You can see some of these are landing pages like Lauderdale web design, Doral web design, that shows up a lot. Our Hialeah web design, meta descriptions, but basically our home page is definitely our strongest page, taking in a majority of the impressions that we're seeing. And you kind of break that down. New York is a 4th. So a lot of these are our landing pages, and that's what they're built for. Countries, this again is just pretty self-explanatory. We get most of our traffic from the United States. Fortunately, we get a ton of people from India always calling us, trying to get business and stuff. But most of our stuff is from the United States. Devices, you'll see, this is something that also is kind of changing quick because mobile is growing. We can see that right here on our desktop we have a majority of the impressions, but mobile's not far behind, and tablet is a little bit further behind. But just knowing what people are using, and then search appearance, we'll go into this, and this is just kind of, again, with the accelerated pages and such, that one's not too important, but should still follow it. With that being said, we can go into URL inspection, and you could spend a lot more time in this back end, but we're just going to kind of review it. So let's go over here to coverage. We can see everything that's being covered. We kind of looked at this. This is the valid pages. This was the error, and this is the excluded, which could be like different pages as far as what, like an extra blog page or something that's not needed. This also kind of breaks down exactly how Google's indexing everything and how they're taking the information. I can find out what these errors are for, looking into that. And then finally, one of the more important things here is sitemap. Be sure to put a sitemap on your website, and be sure to submit it here to Google so that they can pick it up. You'll see that it says success. Basically, most web URLs would just be finalwebdesign.com/sitemap. So if you're not familiar with Google Webmaster Tools, you definitely should be. Here's links. We can see all our top link pages, things like that. But really what this software is made for is to spend time engaging with it, playing with it, just finding as much data about your website as you can, and then taking that data and improving your website. So if Miami web design is our one keyword or one of our biggest search keywords, we want to make sure that that page stays relevant, that we're continuing to add content and touch it up so that our Google ultimately continues to grow. And you can see our impressions. I mean, we started 1,000, now we're getting up to like 2,000, 3,000. So just trying to find consistent growth. And now don't worry if things fluctuate. That happens with every website. Just continue to stay focused and to continue to grow your website, and you'll continue to grow your organic positioning. So guys, that is Google Search Console, formerly Google Webmaster Tools. If you're not familiar with it, I would get familiar with it because it's super powerful software, and it's a lot of fun to see and know how your website's performing. Give a like, guys, give a subscribe. This stuff is really appreciated. And then stay tuned for our next video, which I think we're going to go into more marketing. So we'll catch you soon.